Hello everyone, my name is Nick. I'm here alongside my co-host David. David, how are you going today?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks.
Alright, so we're going to go through all 10 screenshots that came out about a week ago for Grand Theft Auto 5, and we're going to review them, as in-depth as we can. And David, of course, you don't really know a heck of a lot about Grand Theft Auto in the series, do you?
Yeah, not really. I just play it for fun. Don't really follow it.
Yeah, so I guess I will go through all the info, and then you can put your input towards the end.
Sounds good.
Alright, so first of all, actually before we go into that, you can follow us on Twitter at RealGGN, and you can follow in on the conversation with whichever hashtag you may see when we tweet out the video. Alright, so we're going to start off here with screenshot 1, which will hover over your screen, and we're going to start off with the lightning. So David, the first thing I was thinking was, well, actually, no, not what I was thinking. You actually brought this up when we were sort of thinking about the screenshots earlier, dynamic weather. And what did you really think about, how that could affect the game?
I don't know. I just seen it and thought it'd be cool. They've had it in the previous ones a bit where it can just randomly start raining. Well, yeah. I thought with all the lightning, you could just be driving around and lightning strikes on a tree, or I don't know what they can do nowadays, but
yeah,
something like that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was thinking with my first line there. I was thinking, could it actually, take down a plane or any kind of vehicle, like sort of in the air or something like that? I think that would be kind of unique and that kind of thing. But most of you will know that is Del Piero Pier, or as you'll know in real life, it is Santa Monica Pier, I believe. And those buildings there on your screen, I think they are a restaurant and it's sort of like a tower, lifeguard-like tower, and you'll actually see on your screen now, coming up on your screen in a moment, the actual real-life lookalikes on your that are actually on the pier in real life. So, also then when you go back, you will see the carnival area, and that's actually something that I didn't add to our notes here. David, do you reckon those the Ferris wheel and all that will actually be accessible?
Yeah, I reckon they will be.
Because in
mini games and whatnot.
Yeah, in previous games like last year, I think they had or San Andreas, it just was not accessible, and you just couldn't do anything on them. So hopefully, we can in the future. All right, so actually, I think that is it for screenshot 1. We're going to move on to screenshot number 2, and here we see the FIB, which is actually the FBI in real life, and they're following Trevor here, who's on a motorbike. And the one thing I noticed straight away was the handlebars, and there are actually the handlebars, and there are no brakes on the handlebars. And this is early footage, but are they somewhere else on the bike, which is, kind of unrealistic? And I don't know about you, David, if you know anything about motorbikes, but I always thought the brakes were up above the handlebars. Did you?
Yeah. To me, it just doesn't look like the model's finished.
Yeah, I think it's just early footage. It does not look, enough to represent the final release of the game. But the dust effects as well, as you can see on the back of the vehicle there, that the FIB is driving along, and because you're a PC gamer, maybe whatever engine they use on there, well, obviously it's the same engine, but there's certain things that they can use to enhance dust effects. Maybe you can give everyone a little bit of an insight in that.
Yeah, I was thinking when they eventually port it over, dust and all the lighting effects that we'll see in future pictures, they look really good with NVIDIA's physics.
Yeah. So. That was actually the one thing you mentioned, that physics engine or whatever it is. I'm not even, because I'm primarily a PS3 gamer, and obviously I've moved over to PC gaming, but I don't really know, too much about that sort of thing. But now this area actually where this is located, you will see as it'll actually appear on your screen, and here's the area that he may actually be travelling through. You can see the red circle towards the bottom of your screen, and that is the Salton Sea area. Now, you can actually see that is pretty far away from where Los Angeles is, and David, you obviously haven't been to LA. I have, and I didn't go as far as the Salton Sea, but LA in itself to me felt really, really big, and to have Palm Springs and the Salton Sea all that way, obviously they're going to compress it down. And how far do you reckon they'll compress it down? Do you reckon they'll go as far as that, or do you reckon maybe this isn't actually a true reflection on the map?
I reckon they're going to have to scale it down. It's going to be mainly designed for consoles, so the hardware's not going to be up to scratch. It's such a big map.
Yeah, well, they have said it's going to be as big as GTA 4, Red Dead Redemption, and San Andreas combined. So we'll have to see how far down they actually compress that. And as I was mentioning, the other circle there over Palm Springs, I think that is the area they're actually driving through, perhaps back towards Los Angeles. Whether that actual San Bernardino, I'm not sure how you actually pronounce it, but that area, whether that will be used, I don't know. But it's certainly going to be compressed with all the desert area around the back. Also, David, I believe you said you had something to note as well.
Oh, yes. On the side of the police car there,
yep.
the FIB,
yep.
the guy, how he's just chilling on the side there.
Yep.
It looks like maybe a new form of AI, like could be on the outside of the car, or even like when you're driving, say in co-op or something.
Yeah.
You're able to get onto the side and shoot.
That would be pretty good. Yeah, no, that's a good thought. Co-op is actually something I'm not sure someone else on YouTube actually brought that up, and they were thinking split screen co-op. I don't think that will actually be involved, but whether it will be or whether it won't, we'll have to wait and see. But the fact that you can actually come off the sides is a pretty cool idea, and I think that is a new AI gameplay mechanic, and that's a pretty good thing you've brought up actually. So thank you for pointing that one out, because it did not click to me. Let's move on to screenshot number 3, and we have scuba diving for the first time ever. Well, I think we've seen sort of a glimpse of it before with sharks and that sort of thing, but now I can't actually tell you. I think that is, well, I'm just going to guess that's Michael. He's one of the 3 main protagonists in the game. And David, do you think that looks like Michael? You obviously haven't really seen too much of Michael, but have you actually seen Michael before?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Well, you'll see him soon, towards one of the end screenshots, I believe. Now, those shadows you see to the left, I don't know if any of you can notice, but it looks like there's an eye sort of on both, and they sort of look like creatures. And of course, sharks have been confirmed. And I don't know if you've played Far Cry 3, David, have you?
Yes, I have.
To me, the sharks were a little bit... They were realistic. The way they bit you and that sort of thing were realistic, and I think they were a little bit too common. And I'm thinking the sharks might be, if there's too many of them, they could get a bit frustrating and just a bit too annoying and sort of ruin what could be mini games actually in the ocean. But let's move on to the actual special effects. And again, this is where that engine that you brought up earlier could come into play, and that is with the light rays, which would look pretty good. And I think that's actually what you mentioned as well. It only just clicked to me. And you had something else there, I think, to mention about missions, perhaps, involving underwater?
Yeah, I was just thinking, one of the missions might involve, like, they occasionally have some stealth missions. Might be swim under, blow something up.
That would work pretty well. I was actually thinking mini games as well, just, perhaps treasure hidden underneath or something like that, just random. Just another way to get money in the game. Let's move on to screenshot number 4, because there really isn't too much about screenshot number 3 to really discuss. And in screenshot number 4, we get another glimpse of skydiving. And you can see up there is a plane, and I'm going to guess. Now, I can't actually tell you, but I think this might be Trevor. Now, it might or might not be. I'm leaning towards the no. I don't really think it is, because in a previous mission that we've seen, I think it was a screenshot or footage in a trailer we noticed that there was a gentleman, and we're going to assume that was Trevor jumping out of that Jeep, out of the I think that's called an Adrenaline, the cargo plane, Andromeda, sorry, and I'll show you a screenshot a little bit later. But that to me is Trevor, and you haven't seen Trevor either, have you, David?
No.
No. Okay. So you'll learn as we go, quite obviously, and so in that mission he jumped out of a fiery plane. It was on fire, so that tells me that it is not him. The other thought was, could it be Michael? Could it be Franklin? I don't think so. If anyone, it's going to be Trevor, because he's a daredevil. That's something you're going to learn now, David. Trevor's a daredevil. Compared to the other two. Alright, so now I am actually going to put that screenshot on your screen, and this is from GTA San Andreas, and that is the Andromeda cargo plane, and I believe that is what it actually looks like. And David, if we go back now to the actual screenshot, you also had something to add?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, could be, as we were talking about mini games before, might be, like in GTA 4, you could go do activities with people, like your friends and everything.
Yeah.
What it might be something like that, or
That would be kind of unique,
Who knows?
Yeah. A minigame, something like that. Any thoughts of an actual minigame or just a mission?
Yeah, like if it's a minigame, could just be something silly like you jump out and you have to land in a certain area.
That sounds like
you are, you get points, or who knows?
Yeah. I don't know. You said actually we were talking earlier off the video, and you said you hadn't played the Ballad of Gay Tony, or all of it anyway. You can actually skydive out of that and hit targets, but that wasn't. They were just sort of. They're actually mini games. You could go onto a mark and it'd take you to the top of the building, and you could skydive and have to land in a certain area. So maybe they'll bring that back, maybe just in a better way with skydiving suit and that sort of thing. So a very good point you've brought up there. Anyway, let's move on to the next screenshot, and this is screenshot number 5 out of the 10, and I'm actually going to show you that area with another screenshot. David, I don't know if you actually have seen too much of this screenshot, but it's only just clicked to me now, there is another screenshot that shows that area out the back, but on this Google Maps image, you can actually see that is pretty much where the area is. It is the Salton Sea area, and the other thing is, if you look on the Google Maps image there is actually no river that runs into the Salton Sea, and this really shows how the map compression is, because, as I was saying earlier in one of the older images, there looks like too much distance there. And David, how long do you reckon it would take you by car in the real world LA to that Salton Sea area?
Oh man, 20 minutes maybe, 30.
Well, I can tell you it's a lot longer than that. Well, not from my experience. Put it this way, I don't know if you can see, do you see Anaheim on the map? Guys, if you can actually see Anaheim on the map, from Anaheim to Los Angeles itself, that takes about half an hour. Well, maybe not half an hour, about 15 minutes. So that tells you the difference in distance. So with that one, it is a little bit hard to tell, but it's a pretty vast landscape. And if I actually move across here to back to the main screenshot, and people were bringing up the possibility of Instagram, and obviously the landscape looks amazing. And David, have you ever used Instagram? I'm assuming you have.
Yeah.
You have. And this area looks, something like you can just jump up there and, take a photo of, and maybe Instagram will be integrated into the game. I certainly wouldn't mind going up on the bridge or even up here and taking a photo. And maybe now with PS4 and maybe Xbox 720, they were thinking of social media and integrating that into the online systems, and perhaps we'll be able to share our photos to other users. Do you think that would be a cool idea?
Yeah, fun actually.
Yeah, I think that'd be just a good way to interact with other users online. Now, you see that bridge? If we go over to the next Google Images screenshot, you can see it's surrounded with aqua blue. And there's a road there that goes up above the Salton Sea. Now, I've zoomed in by myself. I'm not going to zoom in on this screenshot, but there is actually no bridge that goes over the Salton Sea. So I'm going to guess they've compressed that down as a little bridge that goes over the Salton Sea and goes past Palm Springs, as was shown in the previous image back earlier with Trevor and the FIB. As I said earlier, there's no river, so I'm going to guess there is another reservoir earlier. Well, it's much earlier over towards LA, but I'm not going to assume they've compressed it that much that there is only one sea. So expect 2 or maybe 3 or even 4 seas, or, just oceans, that sort of thing, or rivers, if you want to put it that way. David, also you said something about the lighting effects of the whole landscape.
Yeah, I just thought the picture, the way they faced it towards the sun to show off their particle effects and all that type of stuff.
Perhaps that
reflections or whatnot.
Yeah, perhaps that engine can come into it again. I don't know. But yeah, no, especially for PC veterans like yourself, and you sort of know how it works and all that sort of thing. Let's move on to the next screenshot. And here, now, I've been getting a lot of, not been getting a lot of emails. I wouldn't say emails because no one emails me, but forums. I've been seeing a lot of people claiming that this is the Super GT, but I can tell you it is not the Super GT. If you look to the bottom left, sort of towards the left wheel, you can sort of see just to the right of it, there are, I don't even know what you want to call those. David, do you have any idea what they're called? I don't know if you can see them there.
Where? What are we talking about
under
now?
the left mirror. So guys, if you look under the left wheel, you can barely see them. But anyway, those are pretty much confirmed. It is the Ocelot F620 from the Ballad of Gay Tony, and I'll actually put that screenshot on your screen now, and you can see a white version of it there, and you can see those things to the right of the left wheel right there, and if you go back to the old screenshot, you can just see it there, and it looks pretty similar. Unfortunately, we can't see the front of the car, but the wheels look pretty similar, and the actual, well, whatever that thing is, looks the same. David, you obviously said you haven't played much of the Ballad of Gay Tony, so you wouldn't really know, but this looks like one of the main, vehicles in the game, otherwise they wouldn't really be showing it off. Also, if we go back to the main screenshot, this brings up another possibility of Instagram. Again, with the PS4, perhaps, maybe they'll make GTA 5 come out on PS4, perhaps in March 2014, perhaps. They might just put it on there. And again, this would come into that social media thing, Twitter, because that looks like an Instagram photo to me. I don't know about you, David, but that looks like it's been edited via Instagram.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. The next thing I wanted to know is the Palm Springs area. So obviously I showed it earlier, and I'm going to go with this being Palm Springs because you can see the wind farm there. And if you go to the next screenshot, well, as I will show you over here on Google Maps, the green circle there points out A, B, E, and F. That is where the wind farm is. And so you will know. And then here's another screenshot that will show the actual wind farm, and that should pop up on your screen now. And that is roughly what the area looks like. And you can sort of tell when you go back and have a look at the main screenshot. They've sort of made it like a highway, sort of different to what the one on the real life shows, but it's pretty close. Obviously it's compressed, but we'll have to see how that goes. Let's move on to screenshot number 7, and here we see the amazing sun effects. And again, this could come in with that engine again, David. What do you reckon? That looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Even if you notice, just above the GTA 5 logo, you even got the little rainbow effect.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I was thinking of the lens flare itself, but you can actually see the rainbow effect, which is pretty unique. And I'm not sure, actually, this is not in my notes here, but I only noticed actually right now, or a few seconds ago, right next to the rainbow thing there. That could be the LAX control tower. So that could be where the airport location is. I don't know. I can't actually guarantee that or confirm it, but it sort of looks like that. Now, this is something unique that sort of clicked to me, and if you look at this screenshot right now, if you look at the tall building there, not the US Citibank Tower, which is to the right, the one in the middle of the screen, or sort of to the right, you see the crane, and now I'm going to put up a screenshot of a older image, and that, David, is Michael.
Yep.
So everyone watching, if you don't know, I'm sure most of you will, if you've seen the trailers in the following Grand Theft Auto 5. That is Michael right there. But most importantly, not that big crane, the one that is circled in red. You can see it is low down, so it is actually not high up. And if you go back to the the HD screenshot, you can actually see it is higher up. So this poses the question, is there a day-night life cycle, like a calendar cycle? And I don't know if I've spoken to you about this, David, but perhaps the game goes through in, seasons. Perhaps there's winter, summer, and that sort of thing. I reckon that would be quite unique, don't you?
Yeah, I reckon that'd be a pretty good idea, actually.
Something different, and they obviously done that before.
Yeah. Especially if you played a fair bit, you can transition through the different seasons.
Spot on, and that would, make you just feel like it's different. And not only that, as I mentioned with the crane, the whole point of the crane idea was to mention that perhaps buildings can progress in time, or road work can, progress in time, and we'll have to see how that goes. And hopefully that's in, because it'll make you feel like you're playing a different game every single time, sort of in that aspect. And it'll make it feel fresh, something different. But I believe we're up to screenshot number 8, and I think this is the one that I've sort of gone in depth with, well, kind of the most. And that, if none of yous actually knew, is the Hollywood Bowl over there to the right. I will zoom in onto that actually in right now, and that is, as I said, the Hollywood Bowl, and that holds concerts and events, and it actually looks very accessible. And if we move over now, I'm going to put a screenshot on your screen, and this is from the real life counterpart, and you can see how close it is to the GTA 5 image and the GTA 5 counterpart, it looks pretty good. And if you flick, well, we can flick back through them, but you will actually see, it looks pretty good, and you can see the pillars on top and make it look very realistic. Also, the spotlight on the police chopper, is this perhaps an in-game wanted level chase sort of mechanic, or maybe is it a mission-specific cop chase? What do you reckon, David?
No, I honestly think it'll be a bit of both.
Yeah.
Once you get helicopters going after you at night time, I reckon they're probably gonna have that as a feature now.
Yeah, I was thinking
definitely missions.
Yeah, missions for sure. And I was thinking maybe the wanted level goes down if you get out of sight of the light, or maybe you can shoot the light. Perhaps you can get rid of the light, and
that'd be pretty cool.
It could maybe reduce your wanted level down a little bit. Now I'm going to put another screenshot on your screen, and this one is from Google Maps again. And the first thing I wanted to mention was A. So if you look at the green A there, that is where the Griffith Observatory is, and if you look at B, that is where the Hollywood Bowl is. And you can see, I mentioned earlier in one of the Google Maps images, and the Hollywood Reservoir. Now, you can't actually really see there, but there is a body of water, and so I'm assuming if you go back to the police helicopter and the Hollywood Bowl HD screenshot from GTA 5, just to the left here should be the Hollywood Reservoir. I believe it's to the left. Some people have been telling me it's to the right, but it looks like it's to the left if you go by the Google Images screenshot. And I've also circled Hollywood Boulevard there. Obviously, that is where the Hollywood Walk of Fame will be, or whatever they call it in the game. And I don't know if you noticed it in San Andreas, but they didn't actually have writing on the signs. Do you reckon they will have them on the star signs on the Walk of Fame, David?
Yeah, I reckon. They're probably sure.
They might add it on. We'll have to, we'll have to see what happens when they actually do it. And I went over it today on San Andreas on the PS3, and they had nothing written on them, but you could actually see them, and it wasn't very long. Hopefully it's a little bit more reminiscent of the real thing. Also, if we go back to the HD screenshot again, you can see the spotlight. What it is actually focusing on is a Turismo, a green Turismo, and that is coming back from previous games, of course, as per usual. And now, finally, I'm going to show you a couple more screenshots. Now, circled in red here, a lot of people wouldn't have seen this road, but that looks like a road that is going past the Hollywood Bowl. Now, I don't think that is actually in real life. I'm not too sure. It didn't look like it. And then if we go, and I'm going to put another screenshot on your screen, which is zoomed in, and you will see that is definitely a road. It's just guaranteeing and confirming that it is a road. And perhaps that is the entry to the Hollywood Bowl. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, let's move on to screenshot number 9. So this is the second last of the 10 screenshots. And again, who is that, David? I'm sure you know now.
That guy you were talking about before.
Michael, yes.
Yes.
Forget easily. Alright, so that is Michael. Pretty classy suit and that sort of thing, but God, how dismal are those shoes? That does not go. They look like my work shoes that I wear to work. That is quite ridiculous. Now, that vehicle, obviously, all of us here now know what an Audi is. It is representing the Audi R8. Don't actually know what it is called in-game, but we know it is the in-game counterpart of the real-life version of the Audi R8. The other thing I wanted to mention is it seems to be focused a lot in the screenshots and that sort of thing. So, do you reckon, David, it might be the main car Michael drives around, through all the missions, that sort of thing?
Yeah, never know. Especially, go back to GTA 4. At the start, you always drove around the same taxi.
Yeah.
Until you eventually moved up, so...
For sure.
Could be something like that again.
Yeah, because every time you come out of a building, when the mission starts, it always seems to put a certain car out the front. And maybe that's the one that he mainly uses, so we'll have to see how that goes and if that will actually be it. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but if you actually look behind the car, sort of to the left of it, you can see the letters WAR, and then if you look into the sort of in between his right arm and the inside of the car, you can see a H. Now, that clearly to me states warehouse, and so I'm going to assume that says warehouse, and by this I'm going to put a Google Maps screenshot on your screen right now, and that down there in the blue circle, that was formerly known as the warehouse district, and it is now called the arts area, or the arts district. So, It's changed name, but it is roughly the same area. Now, you're probably wondering why I have circled a red ring around that B target. Now, in the next screenshot that you're going to see, which is the next HD screenshot from GTA 5, that is actually the location of the Los Santos Coroner's Office, or the LA Coroner's Office, as it is known in real life. And we go over to that now, actually. Quickly, to mention, Dodger Stadium is up there, but the one thing I wanted to mention there is I'm hoping those are in. David, do you reckon they will be? Dodger Stadium or the Staples Center?
Yeah, hopefully it is.
You'd like to think so.
It's always nice to have those little features you can go explore.
Yeah, hopefully they're accessible as well. But anyway, let's move on to... I'm not actually sure. I'm going to guess this is Franklin. Now, that looks like Franklin to me. By the way, Michael, I'm calling you Michael now. David, that is Franklin, the third protagonist. There's Trevor, Michael, and Franklin. So this guy's name is Franklin, and, he's sort of into bikes and heavy machinery and that sort of thing. Now, the one thing I firstly wanted to mention was the fire. Now, you can see the fire on the car, but my argument here is it actually spreading onto the tree? Now, you actually mentioned this to me. You reckon perhaps that is a PC physics thing, or however you call it, that could be integrated into the PC version, or maybe they've integrated into the PS3 version. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm guessing maybe. It's
hard to tell.
I honestly don't think it will be, but it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Just the way you could set something on fire and it jumps to different things.
That would be great. And anyway, quickly, that car that you see on your screen, that is a Vapid cruiser, a police cruiser, obviously, in Grand Theft Auto 5, and I think it has been in past GTA games as well. Now, if you look at that white sign, now, you can see the white sign, and that clearly, I don't know if you can see it, but it says Coroners, in my view. It says Coroner, and I can pretty much 100% guarantee that this is the LA Coroner's Office. If you look at the pillars on the building, there's little knobs sort of above the empty space, and now if I put this on your screen, that is the real LA Coroner's Office, and it looks pretty similar, the gate as well, as you mentioned to me yesterday, and the trees around the area. So that has to be the LA Coroner's Office. If it isn't the LA Coroner's Office, well, I'll be a little bit shocked because, it really sort of looks like it. Now, if we go back to the main screenshot, David, I was going to ask you, why on earth would someone like Franklin be shooting a machine gun at a coroner's office where there's dead bodies inside? What do you reckon?
I was to the story somewhere.
Yeah. Could it be a mission?
Yeah, someone who doesn't like in there, obviously.
I'm going to
get rid of evidence, who knows.
That is actually a good thought. I was also, this is, a bit of a long shot, but I was contemplating, they've been focusing GTA 5 around, stealth, bank robberies, and perhaps they need a fingerprint to get into a certain area. And I've heard, okay, now this is just from my research and what I've heard, apparently a dead body doesn't, erode away for 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks, the fingerprints still can be traced. So perhaps he's going in there to get fingerprints to get inside a bank or something. You never know. It has to be for a mission, though. I highly doubt you'll be able to access this building otherwise. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention is the green on this fella. And you obviously remember Grove Street, and hopefully all you guys do as well. Grove Street, the Grove Street gang, and good old CJ and co. And here is a screenshot with the actual San Andreas, good old memories there, of a guy from the hood in San Andreas wearing all the green. Now, he isn't... David, you said you don't think he's wearing enough green, so you don't think it's Grove Street? Well,
I just think it's a coincidence.
Yeah, perhaps they're just doing it, to fool.
There's always a possibility, though.
Yeah, you never know. It could be. And finally, with the 10 screenshots, that gun, you'll see it on your screen now. I have come to the conclusion that I think it resembles a M134 variant of a minigun. Now, there are different variants, but I'm just going to go with that one because it sort of looks like it with the handle, as you can see above, and it sort of has like a launcher. It's like a joystick sort of thing at the end. So it looks pretty damn cool. Now, to the artworks, and David, you haven't seen these. Well, I don't know if you've reviewed them now in the space we've had to do this, but these were released a couple of days ago, and they were called the Cash and Carries. Now, they both are themed. This one is called Cash and Carry by Sea. Obviously, you can see the backpack on Michael, that is Michael again, on his back, and, well, what do you reckon he's carrying?
I don't know, probably money or
Cash.
drugs, you never know.
You'd think it's something to do with cash because of the cash and carry label. But obviously with the name, he's carrying cash and he's transporting it by sea. And I don't know if you've noticed, but of course, typical Rockstar humour, Speedophile 2000s. Of course, it's a jet ski and they're using a funny name to resemble that. Also, obviously in the background, the Del Piero Pier again. Del Piero, I don't know how they're going to pronounce that, how people pronounce it. Del Piero. I'm thinking of Alessandro Del Piero now for some reason. But it's apparently called Del Piero Pier or Del Piero Pier, but it looks like they're really focusing on that as well. So maybe you can access the Ferris wheel, that sort of thing, or whatever they call it over in America. Now, this is something that only clicked to me this morning, and I know it's highly unlikely, and I wanted to get your opinion on this. Do you reckon there could be like a pay and spray bay on the water?
Yeah.
It's a long shot, but...
yeah. Honestly, I don't think there will be, but...
Yeah. You
never
know.
I don't know. It'd be cool if they had, say, the paint spray on the side of the road, and they have, the little Easter eggs where you can manage to jump your jet ski out of the water. And if you land in it, it paints it for you.
And then it transports you back out. That'd be kind of cool, yeah. I just thought because of the colour of the top of it, maybe that's customised. I don't know. It's a long shot, but, I wouldn't mind it. And anyway, let's move on to the final screenshot of the day. And here we have the second artwork that was released this past week. Actually, I think it was a couple of days ago. And this one's been labelled Cash and Carry by Land. Again, this tells us that the guy on the bike is carrying cash and transporting via land. And that dirt bike, do you remember that dirt bike, David?
Yes, I do.
You do? Clearly, the Sanchez, classic dirt bike. And you guys, if you played San Andreas, or even, I think, Vice City, it's classic. I think it was even in GTA 4, just not as common because there was no real dirt on the map. So, it looks like a Sanchez, and it is a Sanchez, put it that way. Moving on now to the actual character, and according to Rockstar, that is Franklin riding the bike, who again is one of the three main protagonists, as I've said. The gun he's holding, I think you can recognise that one, David.
The Uzi?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's the one, the Mini Uzi. The only reason I'm saying Mini Uzi is because of the actual grip, and you can sort of see the iron sights and how that's labelled out. But again, were you thinking Mach 11?
Yeah, I was going to say that, then I looked at it some more, and definitely an Uzi.
Yeah, it's Mach 11, you never know. It's possible, but I'm going to go with the Mini Uzi, I'll stick with that. We've actually seen this artwork before on the actual box art, I think, and it's just in a different background, I believe, here with this artwork. Now, that is the first glimpse of the LSPD, the Los Santos Police Department chopper, sort of in an artwork. And obviously this must be a mission, sort of a chase sort of thing. And also there is a plane, I'm sure you can all see that, over in the top left-hand corner. Whether that will, be too useful or anything, we don't know. And the verification of the plane model is obviously unknown, unless you can somehow figure that out, David, and I don't think you'd be able to.
No, but I will add to the plane. I've noticed you get the trail behind it.
Yes.
That's something I think is pretty cool.
Yes, same with the dirt bike there, the water.
Yeah.
That looks pretty unique. And that actually brings me to the Google Images screenshot that I'm putting on your screen now. And that bridge that you actually see on the artwork is the, I think, it could be any of the Los Angeles bridges. And it's either the 1st Street or the 4th Street bridge from LA. Now, I've seen different photos. They both sort of look the same. And, it's too hard to tell. And, there's no real need to go in on that. It's either the 1st or the 4th Street bridge. Obviously, people will think, why can't it be the 3rd Street? But there's obviously gaps between. And you can see on there the river is actually drained out, sort of. It's not full on. Does that look like a river to you, David?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. It was originally the Los Angeles River. I think it's still called that. But if you go back to the artwork, it looks drained out as well. So, and now I'm going to put the notes down because there is actually something I'm going to actually note here. Now, this is a long shot, and I don't think this is what it says, but I've read on forums, people have noticed this. I actually haven't noticed it myself. I'm going to admit that. If you look under the bike, in between the wheels, there's a little bit of red, orangey writing, and to the right of that, could that possibly say Grove? Now, people on forums said yeah, but Does it look like it to you, David? It doesn't look like it's me.
No.
No?
Not really at all.
I'm going to stick with the no and assume that it is not that. So that's it for the screenshots. We've gotten through the first set, and actually, I don't think Rockstar's planning on releasing anything in the near future, so we won't really have anything else new for you. Thank you, David, for joining me again. Well, for the first time, actually, and hopefully I can say again in the near future for future videos. Thank you very much, and don't forget to follow us, guys, at RealGGN for all updates and info on Grand Theft Auto 5 and news updates. Thank you for joining me, David, and we will catch you for the next video.